Cheers. All right, so
cheers to our first podcast.
Yeah, women's rights.
Women's rights.
Do you guys need them? I don't think so.
I want to talk about Pearl. That woman is crazy.
She's kind of crazy. She has extremist views.
She has extremist views. She devalues women like crazy. She pretends like they have no value of any kind.
Yeah.
There are women extremists who go too far, and they do devalue men to try to get their way. But she goes the opposite way and devalues women.
Well, I hate feminists.
I know. I know. Well, you hate extreme feminists.
No, I hate feminists now. Okay, I think feminism might have had a place back in the day, but now, if you're a feminist nowadays, then you just want attention.
Men fought for women to have rights. Men fought for women to have rights in the first place.
Yeah, and women were just like, I don't want to go to war or be on like what is the bucket brigade or whatever. So men are like, okay, fine, we'll give you rights, and you don't have to do those things. So okay, we'll take that.
Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah. No. Of course. So men, but that's the man's place to protect women. I think that's the man's place.
Yeah.
But also, I think women fought for these rights to be independent and to have the right to do.
And then they got it, and then they kept going.
And they got it,
and they want more and more and more and more to the point where now they just want.
Right.
They want everything. And anything that's yucky and icky, men can have that. But anything that's,
I agree with that.
But we both can agree that women are the exact same strength as men, though, and there's no such difference.
No, I think there is a difference. Obviously, if you take the strongest man and the strongest woman in the world,
or an average man or an average woman, or an average man and a really strong woman,
right? Okay, that's my point. But what Pearl does is very not okay. She devalues women to the point where she pretends like women have no value of any kind, which I don't agree with that. I think there's so much value in women.
Yeah. Okay.
So much strength.
I get what you're talking about.
There's so much power in a woman.
I think it's a little bit different because I think back in the day, the way she did it was she just like, it was during the whole like, men and women are exactly the same. And it was just like, no, we both have our places in this world. And then now she needs the shock factor, though.
Yeah.
And so because of the fact that now it seems like that's evening out a little bit more, and everybody's like, all right, yeah, that's kind of all bullshit.
And you notice how pretty much everyone on her page are men going, yeah, that's right. That's right. They're all comments of men.
I'm lucky that we had boys.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if we had three girls right now? I'm wondering if your view would be different.
I don't think so. I've always been,
because you're very defensive over the boys, though.
I am very defensive over the boys, but I'm also like very comfortable being a female. I'm very comfortable.
That's true. You're very much a mom and a wife.
I love taking care of the home. I love taking care of the kids. I love taking care of you. So I'm very comfortable in that. And I also really believe that a man has a place. And I think your place is to provide for us and to protect us. Yeah. And I provide in a very different way. And there's value in both of those. I think there's value in that. And I also want to say that women who work, there's value in that too. Like, I think there is value in both. Like, I think you have to find a balance in each home. And I think that balance can look different from home to home. And I don't think that women or men should be put in boxes and where they should be. I think each household will work differently. And that's just how it is. Like, I think there are some houses that work better with the man staying home and the woman working. No, I've seen it. I've seen it work very well. I've seen it work very well.
And the wife totally doesn't resent him behind closed door. And they don't just go and say, no, I'm totally happy.
I wouldn't say that. I absolutely have not heard anyone who resents that. Like, I've seen it work very well.
The idea of the woman being in some sense the man of the relationship.
But if the man,
strange.
but if the man wants to be more of the woman in the relationship, and that works,
isn't that weird though?
But it works. But it works.
That's like a trans relationship.
I want to hear your true opinion. Do not sugarcoat it for me.
On what? On Pearl or on
Pearl? I want to hear your true reaction.
I stopped following her because I do find her annoying. I think what happened was she made really good points at the beginning when she first started getting like popular and everything, where it was just like, hey, men are, getting put through the ringer right now.
And she was correct.
And she was right. And then, and it was good that she said that, especially, as a woman being like, hey, we got to treat our men better. I think that was good. And then what happened was it changed. I think it was, she was there when men did in some sense need a woman like her, but now it's not as extreme. It's going where now it's calming down, and now she still needs to get attention for money or for whatever reason. Yeah. And so because of that,
I'd agree with you.
So because of that, now she's going to these extreme craziness sides because she still needs to get the attention or whatever. Well, I mean, it's something like 80% of divorces are started by the woman.
And but I do think that men today are not meeting women's needs either.
Or women are less content, because if you think about it, like I think another big thing is too, I think women back in the day, almost going back to what we were talking about before, I think the woman's place is in the home, taking care of the kids.
But you don't think a woman
being a wife, and I think that's a far more natural thing. And so that did fulfill what women needed, because of the fact that was just, that like women have that craving to be taken care of naturally. That because that's how women are.
I agree.
Men want to take care of women.
Well, they used to want to take care of women.
That's true.
Men today don't really want to take care of women.
I mean, because I think what happened was exactly, if there is a divorce, women got completely put through the ringer.
Yeah.
And two, women in some sense, not physically, but women are just beating up on men when it comes to this whole feminism thing, I won't say feminism, I will say the extreme feminism nowadays.
Yeah. Because I think feminism is a great thing. Not extreme feminism is a different story.
Yeah.
Extreme feminism is a completely different story. I'm not with them at all. Feminism, like when it first started out, was very necessary and needed to happen because it's important to be an equal. I think being an equal is important.
Yeah. Equal when it comes to representation and all that.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, I think men have harder jobs? Absolutely. I think men absolutely have harder jobs.
Yeah. Well,
do I think that equal pay? Do I think equal pay for women and men, if they're doing the same job and they're performing the same? Yes, absolutely. If it's like a CEO and it's a male and a female, they should be paid the same. If it's like a hard labor job and the man is doing the job far better than the woman, should they be paid the same? Absolutely not. I don't think that.
No. Well, that's the thing though, is when it comes to like the pay and everything, it's all bullcrap. Like so much of it is where like women decide to be teachers. It doesn't pay anything, and most men are gonna say, "No, that doesn't pay anything. I'm not gonna do it," or whatever.
Well, there are jobs,
and so because
I know what you're saying, but there are jobs that have that same job, same exact thing. They're doing the same job, same CEO position or whatever, same boss.
I know. I'm not talking about that stuff.
They're getting paid differently.
I'm not talking about that.
But that's what people are talking about. People aren't talking about whether you're a teacher and you get paid less.
No, but I'm saying women tend to choose jobs that are
lower
paying jobs, and also women tend to not work overtime like men do. Yeah. Men do something like, on average, I think men work something like, what was it? I think it's like 52 hours naturally.
I mean, you work like 70.
I know, but I'm saying men naturally work 52 hours of everybody in total of time a week, and women are like at like 41 or 42. Like, and they don't take that into consideration. Why are men getting paid more? They're working a fifth more, so it's more than a 20%. That's like 25%.
Absolutely,
and that makes far more sense. Why you have
why there's that pay difference? Yeah. That's true. But can we agree that Pearl is a little much?
Yes. Okay. Going back to Pearl, I haven't listened to her in a year because it was I listened to her. I was just like, yeah, good points, and then I listened to her again. I'm just like, she is out of her mind.
Yeah, she's such an extremist. Like, if you don't like extreme feminism, I don't understand how you could like her. She's basically the opposite. She's extreme menism. She's like extreme menism.
Extreme feminists do hate her.
No, I know extreme I know
feminists hate her.
Yeah,
a lot of women hate her.
All women hate her. But I'm saying like, she's the opposite. She's extreme men. I don't even know the word for that, but she's extreme men. She's fighting for men to the extreme. Yeah, menism.
Is there actually
menism? Is that right? But she's that. She's the opposite.
Because that's what it would be. Masculism.
Masculism, yeah. But any extreme will eventually be canceled. Because the thing is, no one wants extreme. Everyone wants to be in the middle. Come in the middle. We all have value. We're all people.
80%.
And we all have places.
80% of people are in the middle on most everything. It's the 20% that people disagree on, and then there's the 10% on both sides.
Which is probably why she got so much attention.
Yeah.
She was being like that.
I mean, the negative press is still press.
Well, she actually has a lot of positive press just from men. Men love her. She's quite the... Men just think she's the best thing ever.
I know, but I'm saying she says crazy things, which gets her attention, and it might not all be good. I watch a lot of women hater stuff, too. Just how they're less than us and stuff like that. Well,
why?
Just... You're not... Just the whole not equal thing. And,
oh, okay. Okay, cool.
I truly haven't seen anything about her, though.
She pops up and I just like... I literally get sick to my stomach when I watch her videos because she devalues women to the point where it's like uncomfortable.
Or does she do like clips?
She does like podcasts where she like just like... She has like guests come on and like talk. Like she'll have like females come on and then she like devalues them like the whole time. And it's just sad. It's just sad. It's sad to watch.
Are those women worth value though?
Stop it. Like she brings on like very, kind women and then, they get annihilated. She like just annihilates them.
Are these like, I'm assuming feminists or something like that? Yeah.
She's very chill about like devaluing women. She's very chill. She's just like, yeah, that sounds nice, but that's just not the way the world works. It's like so nice. I don't like her.
I don't really know.
That's so great. Who cares? Women suck and they should all go die. Men are the best, and I think men are great. That's the thing. I love men and I love women, and I think we all have our places.
The world's gonna figure itself out. What's happening right now is there's a lot of women that are hitting 35 years old or whatever, and they might even have been in a serious relationship or might even be in a serious relationship, and they're all of a sudden now realizing, I haven't had kids, and I now wish I had kids, and I just found out I can't have them anymore because now I'm either too old or whatever it may be. And there's going to be a weird... I think there's going to be a weird depression kind of a thing. Like almost like where there's going to be a lot of women out there.
Yeah, I think women,
women
speaking for myself, I feel like
try to act like men. Women try to act like men. Mm-hmm. And this is and because of the fact that they tried acting like men when they're not supposed to, they are now finding themselves to be very depressed because this isn't how a woman in some sense is supposed to act, or this isn't a natural thing for a woman. And it sounds...
The same goes for men though, that men are being so suppressed that they are also getting depressed because men aren't allowed to be men anymore. So it goes really both ways. Like we are different,
men think
and I
they
think
need
we
to be
need
these
to
passive, kind of lack of a better way to say it, pussies, and
men are acting more like women.
Like women, and guess what?
And women are acting more like men.
Guess what happens? Think about any. Let's say a male stripper. Let's say a woman goes to a male strip club.
Yeah,
okay,
for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Guess what? None of the women are gonna want the accountant or the guy that's just like, you're so great, I love you so much, you're the best. No, they're gonna want the dude with the tool belt swinging his whip around and stuff like that, and be like, you want hammer time going on? Like, yeah, they're gonna want the construction worker. They're gonna want the firemen. They're gonna want, guess what, manly men. And it still remains today. Yeah. No women are like, well, I'm really finding these passive, pansy men that it's just my attraction. There's still, to this day, no women that find that, because there is a place.
But if you don't act that way, if you don't act passive, then you're like an asshole. And
well, you can't be an asshole. You have to be a strong man. You have to be a man that has the capability of attacking and destroying somebody else, but has the control to not have outbursts and do that.
Yeah.
And that's how you be a man. That's the easiest way to do it. Yeah. You be an aggressive, you have a natural aggression, but you know how to control that aggression. And that's all.
But when a man is that way and can be that way, the woman feels safe to be herself and be soft and be more woman-like. Yeah. So it's kind of
because the thing is, you don't have to feel like you have to have this defense on your end, because he has your back, and you don't have to act.
Exactly. You have my back.
Yeah, sorry, I'm talking in general.
Yes, but
I got you, baby.
Exactly. Like it's it's like a give and take. Like, but I think what it's like important that men and women know that it is a give and take.
Yeah.
And that we do have our places, and we are very different. Like, I think the world forgot how different we are, but we're very, very different. And it's so important that we each take our place, because our parts are important, and each one of us is very important. Us as women are important. Men are important. We are equally important. We have very different jobs. We are very different in the world, and where we're going to make a difference in the world is very different.
You don't work.
Yeah.
Because I make sure you don't have to.
Right.
And I put that pressure on myself, and you put that pressure on me. Mm-hmm. Because you should expect your man to take care of you.
But I take care of the home, and I take care of the kids, and I pay the bills, and I do the grocery shopping, and I take the kids to the appointments, and I get your contacts, and I set your appointments, and I do everything here.
Yeah.
But I do the laundry and all that. But yeah, I don't work. I am trying to start a business. The part about it is you're doing your job, you're making the money, and so I can do my part.
Women need to hold men to a higher standard.
I think so. I think women need to hold their man to providing and making the money. They need to hold
themselves at a higher standard to everybody.
Okay, but here's the deal. I've met a lot of moms who don't get off the couch all day.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's not okay either.
And guess what happens? This is what we were talking about. The men are getting beat up because how many times? If let's say that woman, if he comes home and goes,
I worked all day.
I worked all day. You haven't cleaned in a week. She'll just be like, what, you think I'm just your slave? Yeah. Or some crap like that. Like, I've never had to tell you that because you have held yourself to a standard. And you go, this is my job to do that. And I've never had to do that. You've seen so many places.
I've seen a lot of, I've met a lot of mothers who I'm like, oh,
but that causes a chain reaction too. Because guess what? If she goes and she's not taking care of either his needs or the house or whatever, and she is putting far more on his plate because he has to pick up all that extra slack. If you do that, that's going to cause him to then resent the woman, and it's going to cause this just.
And if I was put in the same position, I'd be also resentful. Like I would be upset if I went to work and came home and there, the house was a mess. I would not be happy. So I understand that. I get that. I think it's a 50-50, a really big thing right now. I've never dealt with it because we have a 50-50, but a big thing that happens is women are now working, men are working, But men expect women to also take care of the house and the kids and everything else, also,
Yeah.
while also working. And then he's working too, but he comes home and thinks that she has
He
to.
he can
That's that to me
he
is
can expect that
if he can take care of her.
if he can financially take care of everything. But
Exactly.
if he is going well,
Thank
we
you.
need
Yeah.
your income and my income to keep. Well, guess what? Then
Then you're no
you need to
longer.
clean the house, and she needs to clean the house.
Then you don't get the wife that comes and gives you a beer when you walk home and has dinner ready. No,
I can't.
because
It
if
sounds
you
so emasculating. It sounds so emasculating to not. I that's what I don't get. There's so like I don't understand how there are men out there that don't have the drive to take care of the woman. How can you as a man see your next door neighbor kicking ass, taking care of his family, and you're just like, all right, well, you need to get back to work, and then and just expecting her
yeah,
to go to
that's
work. Like I want you to have a little bit easier day than me. That means it's a competitive thing naturally as a man.
yeah.
I'm doing so well. I'm taking care of my family, and I got that extra stuff so my wife can
Yeah.
go and
Because I never
feel
have to ask you,
and not just
ever.
be a wife and a mother, but now she gets to feel beautiful at the same time.
Here's what I notice is you can see women who are taken care of. You know when a woman is taken care of. And you can also see when a man is being taken care of. Visually, you can see it.
Oh, you can see that they feel
You can see they're very comfortable in themselves. They feel it's a very different vibe that they give
feel
off.
comfortable.
Yeah, they're both very comfortable in their own selves. If females and males understood their places, and I do believe there is a place for females and males. Like I do not believe that we are the same in any way. We're not the same. We're so different.
It's exhausting, isn't it?
Yeah, we're so different. We couldn't be more different. But if we knew, I think that society would be happier because society right now is very unhealthy. Both sexes are very unhappy and unhealthy.
You know what I think a big thing too is one. I think because me and you, we got together very young, and we
Yeah.
had our first kids at
Too young.
I don't know about
Well,
that
I would be
anymore.
upset if my kids got pregnant at 19.
Yeah, but I don't know anymore though.
I mean, just because we made it. I think we're rare.
No.
I think we had drive to make it, and we just
No.
pushed
Let me
push.
let me say this. Let me say this then. I think people that are having babies later in life, there's more struggle than what even people think. Because it's not even about like I think it's like okay, we had babies young. Guess what? You didn't even really have the chance to work.
Yeah. I mean, I did work.
What I'm saying is there is I think I think people going and actually or not say not people women going and actually getting and creating a career if they're planning on having a family.
Yeah.
I don't think they should in some sense try to focus on creating the career. I think they should almost right away try to start the family. Once you get your career and you're like, oh, I just got to the point where now I am a blah 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 manager or whatever. Guess what? They're not going to then want to go and stop working, and then guess what? And then when their kids are finally adult, then they're going to go back. They're going to be like, no, I already have pushed to bring myself to this point in this company or whatever it is, and then that's when they work together. Me and you met. We had our babies right away. I had no experience. You had no experience, but you don't have that thing that's pulling you in another direction.
That is true. But this completely off subject, but also women should have babies younger because the foods we're eating is making women infertile. So they're waiting until they get that degree and they no longer can have babies. So it's very important that you decide younger today if you want to have babies because you may not be able to have them in your 30s.
I truly believe there's a yin and yang to the world because what's happening is we're putting bad food in our bodies, and so now it's going to cause all these hardships for getting pregnant. So then we'll fix the food, which will then fix the pregnancy. And so it'll always be one of those, if you're doing something you shouldn't do, on the opposite end, there's going to be a punishment. Right. For that thing you shouldn't be doing. Absolutely. And it's just, if you look at everything in this world, no matter what it is, I'm not saying a person punishing another person. I'm saying it doesn't matter what it is. There is a yin and yang to everything. It's absolutely crazy.
Like, for sure. Like global warming, it's comes back around. Yeah, it does.
I think there is global warming, but the question is how much does it are humans actually the cause of it?
Well, I think it's a circle. Coral was dying and now it's coming back. It's fixing itself. Yeah. So I think there is a circle to that. I think there's I think
people see changes and then go, it must be, and they just make assumptions or whatever. They've been saying the world is going to end
for so long.
There's global warming.
Global warming.
Do you think it's man-made, or do you think it is?
I think the world since the beginning of time has gone in a cycle, and
it's gotten warmer. And I started talking about yin and yang.
Yeah,
I believe the snow's melting, global warming. It's like, well,
I think they're distracting us.
It's springtime.
From something else. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're fine. I think we're going to be fine.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'm not going to put a lot of energy into it. That's for sure.
Well, I need to look up who the guy is. But I remember there's a video of a guy. He's like one of the top global warming people or whatever, and he's really old now. Mm-hmm. He's like 90, and there's a video when he was like 20 saying, "Well, in 10 years, the world's going to end." And then it shows him about 10 years later when he's 30 going, we only have like 10 years left to live. And 10 years later, he's just like, well, the world, 10 years, that's it. It's too late. We need to change things now. And about 10 years later, and all he did was just, I need your money because the world's going to end. And everybody's like, here. And all he's done.
So another extremist like Pearl.
Yeah, but all he's done is just cried global warming since forever.
Yeah.
He was considered a world expert.
Yeah.
Because he kept saying the world's going to end. I only see blue skies right now. And people have only seen blue skies since basically forever.
Since forever.
It's like, oh man, it's not normally this cold this time of year. Yeah, well, it's a colder the year than normal. It's 100 degrees outside. Yeah, there's some 100-degree days. Those things happen, you know.
I bet you they happened 100 years ago too.
Yeah.
I bet you.
And who knows? Maybe they didn't. But guess what? It probably will eventually start happening again. Like, yeah.
It's an up and down.
I'm just trying to do my own research now. And
yeah, I always do
there's so much. I think it was one of those where it's just like the internet. I mean, it wasn't even the internet. It was more like the internet happened. For the most part, everybody told, or we think everybody told, decently accurate information.
Now it's all over the place.
Now all it is shock factor headline.
Oh yeah.
Trying to get attention. And what all that means is bullshit. It's just more bullshit, more lies, all this. Look at my video, look at this. Doesn't matter if there's any truth in it or not. It's just gonna be
is what it is.
All bullshit.